Welcome to the next lesson. Here, we're going to be discussing the opportunities available in esports. With the growth of esports, it should be no surprise that there is now a vast amount of opportunity around the industry. I've mentioned being a professional gamer in past lessons, so I'm gonna start there, but please keep in mind there are many more opportunities that I will get into afterwards. With that said, let's now take a deeper dive into the world of professional gamers and showcase all of the ways you are currently able to make a living off of playing video games. When we talk about becoming a professional gamer, there are currently two routes that you can go down to earn money. You can either be a competitor or a content creator. As a competitor, you make your money off of tournament earnings, salaries, and sponsorships, and are more commonly referred to as a professional esports athlete. Being a professional esports athlete operates very similarly to traditional sports, particularly golf. As a pro player, you're paid a salary from the professional team that signs you on, and you can earn extra money from your performance and placing in esports competitions. You can also earn a percent cut of sponsorship dollars that comes in, and also attract your own sponsorship deals through your own social media. It's also important to note that getting signed to a professional team requires you to be in the top 0.01% of players for any specific video game title. That means that the odds of you being signed to a professional esports team is about the same as becoming signed to an NFL team. Actually, percentage-wise, it's a little bit harder. So does that mean we shouldn't encourage kids to pursue this? Well, let me put it to you this way. If a child walked up to you and said that they want to play a sport professionally, would you encourage them, or would you remind them just how statistically impossible that is? I hope you would encourage them, because you know that along the way they're going to earn valuable life lessons and skills that they're going to carry with them, even if they never make it pro. With esports, it's the same thing. Even if these kids never make it pro or make $1 playing a video game, they're going to get to experience teamwork and communication, leadership, and all of the valuable skills and traits you earn from playing on a team. And they're gonna carry that with them their entire life. Moral of the story is if a kid has a dream, you should always encourage them, because you never know what will happen. Maybe they make it, which is amazing. Maybe they don't, but they still learn a lot along the way. You also have to remember, and as you'll learn later in this lesson, even if they don't make it professional playing video games, there's still a ton of opportunities out there for them in the esports industry. So keep listening and you'll learn how. The second route to earning a full-time living off of playing video games, as I mentioned earlier, is content creating. Content creating is the term for producing content to be viewed online. This includes, but is not limited to, uploading videos to YouTube, streaming on Twitch or any other streaming platform, or even putting out original content on social media platforms like Twitter and TikTok. The main difference between your typical user of one of those social media platforms and a professional content creator comes down to one thing: their influence. If you've heard the term influencer before, this is where it comes from. And it really just references your ability to influence your audience. If you can truly influence the buying decision of your audience, that's worth a lot to brands and companies, and that's how you start making a living off of content creating. However, this also makes content creating a little bit tricky as a career, because your income is completely variable based off of how well your content is received month to month. When we're talking about gaming, we're usually referring to two categories of content creators. If you primarily produce content on YouTube, you're called a YouTuber. If you're a YouTuber, you make your money off of views and product sponsorships. Views on YouTube can pay anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 per million views, and sponsorship deals will vary based off your average viewership and subscribers. Generally, you'll start being approached around 10,000 subscribers for sponsorship deals, and you should begin thinking about working with an agent around 100,000 subscribers, because that's the point in which usually you can now earn a full-time living off of your YouTube content. If you're a streamer, meaning you stream on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or any other streaming platform, you are just referred to as a streamer. Creative, I know. The term streamer simply refers to the act of live recording yourself online for people to watch. Streamers make their money off of running ads during their stream, donations from their followers, and subscriptions to their channel. They may also receive sponsorship deals and product placement ads. ads. The success of your stream is usually measured by the average concurrent viewership that you're receiving. Concurrent viewership just means how many people at any given point are watching you online. On Twitch, once you're averaging more than 75 concurrent viewers, you're eligible to apply to be a partner of Twitch. And at that point, it's generally the rule of thumb that that's when you can start pursuing this full time. So to summarize, there are a lot of opportunities available to make a full-time career off of playing video games. If you remember though, I mentioned that there are a lot of other opportunities outside of playing the games. That's because for every professional gamer out there are about 10 other jobs surrounding them in the esports industry. No, you don't get to play video games for a living, but you get to work with them and sometimes even the professional gamers themselves. And to a lot of kids, that's just as exciting. A quick list of these other job opportunities include coaching, team management, marketing, sales, broadcasting, event management, social media production. Really, the list goes on, but you can think about the esports industry just like any other industry where you have these day-to-day jobs that need to be filled. The big question though is, how do you prepare yourself for one of those jobs? Luckily, in the United States, we have a pipeline developing to help kids with that exact question. And it's no surprise, it mimics the athletic structure. The first step in this developmental pipeline is to encourage kids to get involved with esports clubs and programs at the K-12 level. Middle school and high school esports is such an amazing opportunity because it's the only real sport that's inclusive to every child. You are not limited to physical restraints and everyone has an equal opportunity to play. On top of that, esports clubs and programs give a sense of belonging to students who may not feel it otherwise. I relate to this really heavily. I grew up as a military brat, and so we were moving around every couple of years, and by the time my dad retired, I was already in middle school going into high school, and he moved us to this small town in Iowa where every single kid in my class had known each other since preschool, and I was this outsider. So I spent all of high school kind of floating around friend groups trying to see where I belong, and I never really found that sense of belonging, and I left high school feeling a little confused. It really wasn't until I got to college and joined my esports club there that I felt a sense of belonging for the first time. At the high school level, currently 86% of the students that join a high school esports program were not involved with anything else at their high school. They were being ignored. The esports program was the first time that they felt included. Additionally, esports programs have had a significantly positive impact on GPAs of their students. That's because a school can set a GPA minimum requirement to compete in their esports club. Those GPA requirements then give students a reason to try in school, to do their homework, and gives them motivation to keep their grades up. Most of the time, students that fail out of school or get bad grades, it's not because they're not smart enough to do the work. They lack the motivation to try. Esports programs can give them that motivation. Currently, there are over 3,000 K-12 schools that offer esports and allow their students to compete for their school. If your local school doesn't offer esports, I would heavily encourage you to reach out to the High School Esports League. They are the largest and longest running esports platform at the high school and middle school level, and they'll help walk you through how to get a club started and engaged at your school. You can learn more at hsel.org or consider taking our free course on how to start a club at the K-12 level. The final reason high school esports is so important is because it prepares students to join a college esports program. Yeah, you heard that right. Colleges now offer scholarships for students to come to their school to compete in esports. These esports programs at the college level work exactly the same as going to college for football or any other sport. In the 2018-2019 school year, we saw over $15 million of scholarships being awarded for esports athletes, and that number is continuing to grow exponentially. I know this all too well. I'm the director of an esports program at Ottawa University, and last year we handed out almost $300,000 of scholarships for our esports team. And we're not outliers here. In fact, there's a lot of programs that have even more scholarship money and more players in their program. And it's also no surprise that most jobs nowadays require a college degree, and esports really isn't that different. College esports programs allow students to earn their degree at a discounted rate while also getting to compete and gain valuable knowledge and experience on the esports industry. This experience is crucial for job placement after graduation. If you get 4 years of varsity esports experience at the college level and combine that with an internship and a degree like marketing, you're putting yourself in a really good position to get a job in the esports market after graduation, especially compared to your peers who weren't involved in a college esports program or never landed that knowledge and experience that you currently have. So that's the pipeline. Get involved at the K-12 level, middle school, high school, start learning, meeting people, and preparing yourself so that you can land a scholarship at the college level. Go to college, get your degree, get 4 years of experience on an esports team, hopefully land an internship or two. And through that journey, you'll be able to figure out if you have what it takes to become a professional gamer and go that route, or if you just want to work in the industry, you will now have the knowledge and experience to land that first job.